So you want to speak to the young man here?
I mean, it came by me.
I understand. It's just the company had been seeing a lot of fraud checks going on, so because of it, they wanted me to report it. So I had to get the police involved on the check. I'm so sorry. She came in with the check today, trying to negotiate it, but the check is fraud, according to the company that we spoke to. So they've been seeing a lot of those checks that are not been legitimate. So we just have to report it.
But it came to me by mail.
We have to report it whenever the customer comes in with a fraudulent check.
All right. Is there somewhere we could talk, or?
Yeah, go in the office.
Just take the whole wall.
I'm okay with that.
What's that?
Of just letting me keep it because it's not mine. I mean, they sent it to me, but
Thank you.
So sorry.
You have your ID on you, man?
I do. I just explained to her, I don't cash checks. That came to me by my mailing address. It was a company that I used to work for doing, like, before the pandemic hit. So, you know, by me coming here, I even called them directly, no call. I even reached out to the bank myself, you know, and I even said, hey, this was sent to me by my mailing address. I don't need to cash a fake check. I have a legitimate job.
Okay. Do you have your ID?
So I'm just saying, like, I don't need anything on my record because I ain't never been to jail for no fraud, nothing. So that's one thing for sure is, like, I never been to a jail for fraud. I never did fraud, you know, and that check came to me by mail.
He said that she came in and tried to use
I didn't try to cash the check. I asked them to verify it before I deposited it in my own account. Because I have my own bank, I don't come to this bank. So even then, that's like the second check I got by mail. The first one, I just tossed it because it was like, you know, hey, I don't.
But if you look at the back, there's no watermarks or anything.
So, you know, I don't deal with checks anymore. I usually get everything strictly deposit. So that's why I'm like curious, like, hey, I even called them before I came here and said, hey, can you guys verify this over the phone? Said no.
You still have the letter, the mail?
There was no letter. It just came in an envelope.
Or the envelope?
And no, I don't have the envelope. Sorry, I kind of tossed it. It came in an envelope with my mailing address. And like literally, like, that's kind of. It took 3 weeks for me to come. I've been working, so I don't do fraud.
Okay. She's saying she just came in here to try to verify its validity.
No, she asked to verify the check. She spoke to her. She told her that she'll verify it and what's her intentions to do with the check. She wanted to cash it with us. We asked her where the check came from. If I'm not mistaken, she said that she'd been waiting for it. She's COVID. That the company disappeared on her, and that they magically just mailed her a $9,000 check.
Yeah.
So she came in to cash the check and then go from there. So I feel bad, but we have to report it to you guys. That's
So the ID.
Is there a watermark or is it just?
Well, no,
It looks that way.
looked really.
It looks that way.
fake, the ID, because it looked like it had like this little part right here. It says FL. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
And then it looks like there's this, like it was with a sticker on the actual card.
Yeah, we'll run the ID
Yeah.
here in a second. I just want to see what she said.
I've never seen that.
Based on our loss prevention team, we have to call you guys. Right, so there you go.
So right there, I don't know if that's.
I don't think
I could be wrong, but I don't think.
Yeah, I got it on mine.
You have it on yours?
Yeah.
Okay. It just.
Yeah.
You have it?
Yeah, same here.
But it looked like. What is it? What is
And it sort of looks like there's tape all the way around it.
By your license?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just found that weird, but she did come with the intentions to cash it, which is what
she
she
did
was waiting
say
for.
100%.
She was waiting for me to confirm it and then for me to cash it for her.
Okay.
Obviously, when we called, this is according to the company, this is not the first check They see fraud, so it's been going around. So that's right away I reached out to my loss prevention team, which is the fraud department, and they told me to call cops. They're already aware of this company, so they call cops.
Okay.
So
Did you guys call that company at all?
yes, I did. I spoke to Anna, who's the office manager in that company.
Did she verify that?
She said the check is fraud.
Okay. Would you mind writing all that down on a
Yeah,
statement
yeah.
for me? Okay.
So does this look like a legitimate check to you?
That's not.
And what is it about this?
So the policeman, so as soon as I saw it,
Hold on one
yeah,
second.
hold on.
You can show them the actual check from the company.
Yeah, so the way things, so first of all, you can see how that's a lot lighter.
Yep.
This is like tight.
Yep.
Our checks are not like that.
And our
And
logo.
what about
That is
this?
not-
That looks like it
that's
was
not
That goes here.
placed- Yeah, that's supposed
This
to go
looks
over
like it
there.
was added on.
The payment approved,
Yeah.
I've never seen that for the memo, usually.
Signature too.
The signature
Yeah.
is not,
Faded.
And what about
Yeah.
the heat?
That they getting, listen, these guys are getting good to the point where they put those things in there. Because before, when I first started 15 years ago, that was like the legit, it's official,
Right.
right? But now,
Yeah, when I looked at it, the first thing that, because I checked this, but it does change with heat.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, yeah, the font, the different coloring.
Yep.
This looks like they just,
taped it in there.
Right.
yeah.
And if you pull up the account on
I'll pull it
IBS,
up.
and you can show them the account, one of the checks.
yeah. They even have a logo.
Yeah, they have a logo on their
They have
checks.
a logo on their checks.
And they have a system called Positive Pay. So whenever a check is sent to be paid, let's say they issue you a check, there's a system that will put your name, check number, amount.
It's
So
not
whenever they
even
come
in
into the bank, you're
sequence.
able to see that they approved it. That was nowhere yet.
Yeah.
It was nowhere there.
Even the check number is way off.
They're out there talking to some people. You might be here a minute, so if you want to have a seat, you can have a seat.
How long is a minute?
Like longer than 30 minutes.
At this point, would I just be like, can I just take the charges and we leave?
So
Even though it's not like,
So are you admitting that you did something?
no, I'm just saying,
So why would
if
you
I,
want to take the charges?
just so I can go.
Well, you're not leaving. If
But
you
I'm
take the
saying,
charges,
like-
you're going to jail. Be even longer than 30 minutes.
But I'm saying like, cause I don't even, like I said, I don't feel comfortable
tell me.
being, accused of something, but it's just, that's how it's given. And like, I came in here, I said, hey, I need you guys to verify it. You can even check their phone system. I called them early this morning and I said, hey, can you guys verify it? The lady on the phone, she said, no, you have to bring the check in. I said, okay, no problem. And this is why we're here today, like, cause I needed to get some clarifications on the whole.
Well, I heard that you told them you were looking to verify it so you could cash it. You had been waiting for this check for a long time.
No, I
and it's
haven't
here.
been waiting for a long time. I worked with the company like a while ago, and then they closed down. So I told the lady, I said, maybe they probably sent back pay. Like, I tried to do calculations and see what would add up.
You said they closed down?
Yeah. The company when it was here, they closed. I assumed since they had closed down right when the pandemic hit, I assumed when the check came by mail, I assumed that, okay, maybe this is the back pay that they owed us, roughly. So I started calculating hours myself, and it just didn't add up. That's exactly what I explained to her.
How many hours do you think you're owed?
I work 40 hours each week, 80 hours, and then you get paid every 2 weeks. Roughly, my check will be at $975 after they take out taxes. So what I did was $975, and then
So how many weeks, how many pay periods were you owed?
5, from what I remember, because we didn't get the last pay because that's when the pandemic hit. Like right when the pandemic hit, we were supposed to get paid. We got that last check, and then the following check we never got. But we were still working from home. And then after that, we never,
So you're owed roughly 4 or 5 grand?
roughly. But when I got the check, I was like, I thought about straightening it. I was like, this doesn't add up. And then you know, my peoples was like, go to the bank, check it out, because you don't want to just stretch something that could be what they owed you. And I was like, no, I really don't need it. I have 2 jobs now, you know, like, what do I really need it? But then
They got a hold of somebody at that company.
they did. Well, I tried. Nobody answered for me. And what did they say?
That is not a good check.
Like I said, did they notify you? Did you call them? Like, she said she didn't. She's like, I was so busy doing other things. I didn't. So she's like, I just wanted you guys to look at it to make sure it's real so that I can cash it. Because I asked her what she's looking to do with it, right? And that's what she said. So as soon as I looked at it, I knew it was fake. And I didn't give her any information because I don't want her to know what it is exactly, where things need to be.
What we look for.
What we look for. So I just said, you know, we're going to go ahead and verify. But it just, her story wasn't, I was like, is this the amount that you were expecting?
Okay.
Did they owed you? And she's like, kinda. You know, I make roughly this a week. And she's like, I'm not really good with
How
that.
could you tell it was fake?
So the...
When it's 15
I know.
So to be honest, so this right here, right? It looks like
Watermarks.
a type, like you're
Everything.
typing it on a typewriter or something.
Signature.
This is not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be up here.
Okay.
Memo is not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be below here.
Okay.
Right?
and then just the font.
It's just, you see how it says date in the font. It's just really, I mean, you have date and then that's like a different font. Like it's just all over the place.
Okay.
And then the signature.
And if you was to see a check from that company, the signature would be not
Yeah.
even close.
Okay.
Nowhere near close.
And they have like a logo on the side and all that. So it's,
So as soon as I saw the faded Seacoast and the signature card, signature card, for
Right
me,
here.
it was this, and this.
Okay.
It kind of gave it away. So you got some letters that are bigger than the others.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
it
those are the
just felt
signals that we
weird,
look for.
But she came in today to cash this check.
yeah, that was her, when
It
I
wasn't
asked
just
her.
to like verify if it was fake or not. It was to
both.
cash it.
It was to make sure that it was legit. And it was also, I said, what are you looking to do today?
Okay.
I said to cash it. I think I put verifying, hold on. Yeah, so she said that she thought it was odd that she received it, but wanted us to verify it in order to cash.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Perfect.
yeah.
Thank
But
you.
she 100% said she was going to cash it, or wanted to cash it.
All right, everyone, have a seat. My name is Carlos. Nice to meet you. What's your last name?
Yes.
Have a seat. Sit down. Relax.
This is even more stressful because I really don't deal with the law like that.
They were your rights, right?
This,
You ever had your rights read to you before, or is it the first time?
this is the first time. That's why I said I've never been arrested. I never
Okay.
had anything to do with no type of fraud stuff. Like, this never.
So what happened today? I know you, it seems like you probably already detailed to them, but just so you catch me up on game, so I know what's going on.
So last month I got a check by mail from the company that I used to work for.
Last month?
Yeah,
Okay, what was the name of the company?
it was I don't remember the name. I just know it was a call center, but they had closed down right when the pandemic hit, and we was working from home, but then they kind of
Like this.
completely, I'm not gonna say destruct,
Okay.
but
How long did you work there?
a year.
A year.
6 months to a year before the pandemic came around.
Okay.
So,
And you don't remember the name of the company?
no, not even, I'm sorry. It's
That's
just,
fine.
I worked so many jobs after
Yeah.
that, just trying to stay afloat with
Yeah.
bills and everything.
Okay.
But
You got direct deposit from them, or did you get paid by check from them?
from them, I got direct deposit.
Direct
that was
deposit?
like a long time ago with an old bank. Like,
Okay, so you don't bank with that bank
I don't
anymore?
bank with Chase no more.
Okay, so when you work for them, you bank with Chase.
Yes.
You got direct deposit from them via Chase.
Yes.
Okay.
Then after I left from that job, I went and started working. I didn't go to McDonald's right away. I applied for McDonald's, but they said I don't have the qualification skills. So I went.
Really? Wow. Okay.
So I went to SeaWorld, got hired at SeaWorld, Universal, and
So who you bank with now?
additional finance.
Okay, so from Chase you went to Additional Finance, or
No, I went to like a different bank after that. I went to Wells Fargo.
why you keep moving banks?
Cause like,
I had Chase Bank since I was in high
I
school.
mean, it was like,
You know?
well, first I started with Bank America, and then
Mm-hmm.
you know they started talking about how Bank America is scamming people and stuff. And that's why I moved to Chase.
Okay.
But I went to you know, other different banks for a while.
So you've been banking with a whole bunch of different people.
Yes.
You worked for this company for a year. It was a call center type job. You don't remember the name.
I want to say EDG, but that's probably the one that's on international.
And then my understanding is the check that you came to cash today was from this employee that you used to work at that you don't remember the name.
No, I don't. I mean, yes, but I've worked at several jobs. I'm not the type of person to scam anybody. Like I ain't never.
I don't listen. I don't think you're the type of person that's gonna scam anybody.
But I have had coworkers hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And they was like, "Hey, do you remember the company we used to work for?" I was like, "Girl, I don't remember half the places I worked." I was like, "Well, sure. What about it?" And they were like, "Oh, well, they sent me a check for $7,000." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's kudos for you." I mean, I don't really need it because I'm making ends meet with the two little jobs that I got. Even though it's still a little struggle, then I might have to pick up a third job when summer starts. I mean, summer ends. But other than that, like, you know, I just been, you know, working.
Making it work.
Living from paycheck to paycheck, basically.
Okay.
You know.
And when you work for the company that's on the check that you don't remember the name, who was the manager there? Who was your supervisor?
Michael. My supervisor was Michael.
And did you work directly for that company?
Yes, because it was a call center that we did gas, we did CVS pharmacists, and we also did Walgreens pharmacists and OUC lights.
We say call center. What was it, like customer service? Like,
Yeah.
like
After I left the company, I had, you know, strict company. I had a relationship with him up to like 2 weeks ago.
okay.
Like that was just like years after we both left the company. It wasn't nothing like,
You in a relationship with anybody now?
no,
Single?
just,
You got kids?
2 kids?
yeah,
How old are they?
7 and 8.
7 and 8. Where they at right now?
My friend's house, and I'm gonna go get them from her house because they was playing with her kids.
When you worked for this company, did they owe you any money?
We were supposed to get paid one more check, or at least no, between 1 to 2 more checks
1 to 2 more checks.
because we did work from home. When they shut the office and stuff down because
How much did you get paid when you were there?
$15 an hour,
$15 an hour. You work 40 hours a week.
and then we got paid every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. So about roughly how much was that?
Sometimes my checks would be at 9. Then sometimes my checks would be roughly around 8.
100. Okay.
And then sometimes my check would be like $9.90.
Okay. So it's fair to say if you were owed 2 months worth of money at $1,800 a month on the high end,
Without
still
taking
at-
out, yeah, without
it's
taking
still
out
at
tax.
$3,600. So
Basically.
if you were owed money, it's
Yes,
probably not going to be 9,000.
rough. That's exactly what I said when I tried to do my calculations.
Yeah, that don't add
So,
up.
It didn't add up. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me see here. Like,
Did you call the company?
I tried. It was the number I had tried to call was no longer in service.
When did you try to call them?
4 days after I got the check.
Okay. And which was when? A month ago?
And then after that, I just been busy moving and working my jobs and trying to just stay afloat. I kind of was like, well, you know, even with friends of mine, so I'm not gonna say friends. Let's just say
So you've been trying to
associates.
stay afloat.
Basically.
You've been working, hustling, and you got this $9,000 check a month ago. But
And
yeah,
I
you
didn't
don't think let me go cash this check to help me out?
No, I've been doing it, you know, now, like, you know what I mean? On my own with the,
Kind of know what you mean.
just stretching out my paychecks, you know, from here and there.
This is just me as a reasonable person. If I'm owed some money and I'm stretching my paychecks out, living paycheck to paycheck, right? It's a reasonable person here now. and I get a check that's owed to me for $9,000, I'm cashing that baby right away, right?
Right. But I mean, I didn't think nothing of it because I was kind of skeptical about cashing checks anyways. So like, no. And then I talked to my family members and, family members and other associates that got theirs. I was like, did that check was like legit? And it was like, yeah. And some never responded. I was like, okay,
So you're skeptical about the check?
I just kind of just pushed it to the side because I had a lot going on.
Why were you skeptical about the check?
Because,
Was it the way that it looked?
yeah,
Where's the check at?
it was the way it looked, and it was just like,
What about if we're skeptical if we're looking at it?
No,
What look weird about it?
for one, a check is never this big.
Okay.
I'm just, being straightforward. It's never this big.
I've seen a couple checks that big before.
The little gold stamp thing, I have seen a check with a gold stamp or a silver stamp or something. And it was just on the back.
What about the back?
You can, usually it'll say no copy
Okay.
on some checks. Like I have gotten work checks and it says no copy, And then it would have routing numbers, totally look a little bit legit. But
Routing numbers look a little bit legit.
yeah. So usually I never got a check with my address.
That's the address that you live at?
No, used to. 'Cause
Okay.
I moved. But
So you used to live at this address?
yeah.
Okay.
And that's what's on my license. I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't got a chance
But you moved as of when?
last year in October. My grandma still stays at the address.
Okay.
So my grandma still stays
So
there.
your grandma received this check in the mail?
No, I received it. But I mean, I don't live at the address no more. I haven't had, the
So you don't live there anymore, but it was still delivered to that address?
Yes.
Which,
But
so
my grandma lives
your
there.
grandma would have been the one to receive this check since you're not there.
Yeah, but she
Okay.
didn't sign for anything. We still get mail there. Me and my siblings, because our names is on the, let's say the mailbox.
Okay. So, looking at this check, right, using everything that you pointed out to me, right, it's probably fair to say this is a fake check.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
That's why I didn't bother to go to my bank. I came directly to this bank and said, hey, can you guys verify you guys' check and let me know, like, hey, if it's legit, whatever, and go from there.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you for talking with me, but now I have a couple questions for you. Okay? And this is where I just want you to be truthful with me at this point. Well, hold on. Because you ain't been 100% with me.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't. And that's okay. Because I got a quick memory. It happened. It's gone. I ain't even worried about it anymore. Okay? But I am worried about you at this point. Because someone got you in here cashing a check that you know is fake. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Time out. No, listen to
I
me.
knew it was fake when I looked at it by the mail. That's why I kind of was like, I brushed it off. I was going to shred it myself, but like I said,
Yeah.
other coworkers and friends, and not gonna say family, but they somewhat like family. Oh yeah, it's legit check, cash it. I got my money, type by whatever.
But you and I both look at this check,
And we
and you
know-
just told me that it was fake, pretty much.
Yes.
All right. So
that's the reason why I.
So hold on now. I'm just gonna, everything that you told me in the conversation so far, I'm gonna tell it back to you and you're gonna tell me how this makes sense, right? Okay? You say you work at a call center, right? This is supposed to be a call center check. But you don't even know the name.
I don't remember the name. Not even
This check is from Dunworth Construction and Development, Inc. That's not a call center. Okay? For one. Alright? Even if you did work at this company, okay? I called the company, we talked to the company. They don't know you, and they don't know no Michael. Alright? Not true.
They do know Michael Cole.
Listen, Ashley, listen. Okay. That's not true.
Okay.
Alright. So, I I'm gonna let you look at this check. I'm gonna let you think about everything that you just told me. All right, I'm gonna give you a second. And I just want you to tell me the truth about the check.
It is the truth. I'm being
Now listen to me. If you just want to stick to that story, that's fine.
I have to.
But listen real quick. If you don't stick to that story, that's fine. That's 100% fine with me. Cause I already. But hold on. Listen. Shh. I already talked to the company. Okay. They don't know you or Michael Cole. All right. So that's a lie. B. You just told me you knew the check was fake. Yeah, you ain't here trying to cash it.
No, I wasn't trying to cash it.
Okay.
I came in here to ask them to verify because, hey.
I spoke to the teller and he said you came in here to try to cash the check.
No, I didn't. I told her, I said I was really skeptical about this check that I got in the mail from a company.
Now, you just pointed out to me multiple different reasons and multiple different things about the check that you knew was fake. Why even come in here and waste your time to do that?
Because, like I said, because of other employees that I used to work with.
Okay.
That was the only reason why. Other than that, I would have.
Look at this check. Process the truth.
That is the truth.
I'm gonna step back a little bit.
Honestly, that is the truth.
I'm gonna wait for you to tell me the truth.
That is the truth, sir. I'm not even gonna lie to you, like I've never been in trouble before with anything. I didn't just come here and say, hey, I want to cash this check. I came here and I said, can you please let me know if this is a legit check? I was like, I don't deal with checks. And that's exactly what I told the young lady in there.
You don't deal with checks, but you just explained to me how that check was fake in like 5 different ways.
Because I've seen how checks look. Okay. Like I know I've worked.
Ashley, I don't know who you're trying to cover up for, but this is not gonna go well for you. You are a person with no criminal history with children who are waiting on you. Okay? Think about you and think about your family right now. Don't think about anybody else who got you in here trying to cash this check.
Nobody got me in here.
Think about yourself and your family right now. Okay? Give yourself some time to think about that. And tell me what I really want to know. I don't care that you're in that. Listen, hold on. I don't care that you're in here trying to cash this check. What you did was wrong. Yes, we all know that. Okay. I'm trying to figure out who's the one making these checks that got you in here trying to cash it.
This company.
The fact that you in here trying to cash a fake check, that already came and went, right? But think about your family right now. Slow yourself down. I'm gonna step outside. We're gonna step outside.
I'm telling you.
And I'm gonna give you some time. I'm gonna sort some things out here, and I'm gonna come back in. We're gonna try this again.
This is the honest truth.
Okay.
Honestly, you can give me a Bible, and I can tell you this is the honest truth. Nobody sent me in here.
Okay. I'll give you a little bit, and I'll be back.
I know the check is fake, but the company that sent it to you was the company that Michael.
Who are you talking to on the phone?
Nobody. Well, Michael. I just texted him. I said, hey, the company that you said that we used to work for, they sent the check. And I said, they said that the check.
Can I see what you wrote, Michael?
Not a problem. He said, didn't you cash the check? I said no. Because he asked me if I cashed the check. When I got it, I said no because I've been so busy working, whatever.
What number is this?
That's the WhatsApp number. That's how I communicate with him.
Is this the person who...
Works with the company. Well,
Okay. Is this the person who sent you the check?
Yes, we both used to work with the company.
Okay.
And he got the same check that I got. And I was like, and I just told him, I said...
Can I see?
And I just told him, me and him was in a relationship up to like 2 weeks ago, but it was getting difficult trying to do a long distance relationship.
What does this person have you doing? Tell me the rundown.
This is Michael Cole. Me and him both used to work with the company together. Not that company, but the call center. And he was telling me that he'll help me pay for my expenses because I was telling him that I was having little problems, minor work that needed to be done on my vehicle. And he was like, okay, honey, don't worry, I got you. I'll send you a check by mail. You can cash it. And then like as of today, you can clearly see right here, when I had told him, I was like, hey, the check that you sent me, at the bottom. I was like, I told him here, I was like, hey, the check that you got, and you sent.
I don't see what you're saying.
No.
You're saying something that's not on phone.
No, here. When I texted him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go today to cash the check.
Where is that? I don't see that anywhere. You're telling me something that's not there in the phone.
No, I texted him Monday. I was like, hey, he never responded. Then I got a phone call on Monday night.
So how do I'm cashing the check that you sent me? Right?
Yeah,
That you're saying you got a month
today.
ago by this company, and now it's from this Michael guy.
Which we both used to work for the same
Who doesn't work at the company because I already talked to the company. You finally have a day off. Hi, what the hell? The check is not real. Hi, what do you mean? Well, you knew the check wasn't real because you explained it to me, which is why you've been holding on to it for a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just.
You said you cashed it before, so I voided the check. Okay.
And I said no because, and that's the honest truth. I don't have nothing to lie about. Like I really want to go get my kids because like now I'm to the point that I don't even deal with this.
Okay. And this number is like an overseas phone number.
That's the reason why we had literally stopped. We really
Have you ever seen this person in real life?
Yes, we used to work together.
How do you know it's the same person?
Because he knows my kid's name. He called months ago for one of my kids' birthday.
Okay. And then once you cash this check, what are we supposed to do with the funds?
It was supposed to take care of my expenses.
Expenses for what?
Whatever I needed around the house or my car needed to be repaired, but I got that done. So I'm literally telling you the truth. I had nothing to do with any fraud.
So this guy gave you a check to cover your expenses that you don't even know who this is. It can be anybody's name, anybody's name.
Me and him used to work together at the call center.
Okay.
I'm not lying to you. Like I don't have nothing to lie about. Like all I want to right about now is like now I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable. I just want to go home to my kids because like now I'm starting to be like.
Well, unfortunately, you're not going to go home to your kids right now.
Right?
Okay.
Because you just tried to cash a fake check.
I didn't try to cash anything. I literally came here and asked the lady. You can even go get her. I asked her to verify.
And then you told me the check came from this company.
Yes.
Now you're telling me the check's from this guy that has some overseas phone number that you're saying is Michael, that you've never seen this
I
person.
have seen him before. We used to work
How do you know that's Michael that's texting you on WhatsApp?
Because he said he couldn't use his phone because he's overseas. And then after that, like that's literally the reason why. I'm telling you the truth. Honestly, the truth. Like
Tell me the truth from the beginning.
So in the beginning, me and him had a relationship.
Okay.
Like you clearly see.
A relationship over text?
No, we was really in a relationship.
Like you guys would see each other in real life?
Yes.
Okay.
Then he moved, over there where he's at now.
Where is that?
In Connecticut, overseas.
Okay. Overseas in Connecticut.
That's what he said. He moved to Connecticut.
Okay.
Personally, I was like, okay, we can try to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
Then after I thought about it, I was like, I don't want to do a long distance.
How long have you guys been trying this long distance relationship thing?
A good little minute.
Okay.
I
A
wanna
good
say-
little minute is what, a week, a
I want
month?
to say 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
And like, it's after a while, when you don't hear the person's voice every day, you just be like, oh, I feel like they're cheating, or oh, I feel like they're doing this, that, and the third.
Have you talked to this guy on the phone?
Yes.
Call him on the phone. Can I talk to him?
Oh, absolutely. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I can hear you. Question.
Let's talk about the check.
Honey, the check that you sent me for my expenses, since you voided the check, they're saying that it's not a legit check at the bank.
What?
They're saying that it's not a legit check at the bank.
Oh, I see.
No, honey, what I'm saying is this. Oh my gosh.
Where is Michael from?
He asked if I'm still living, I said yes.
Where is he from?
England. He has an accent, an Indian accent.
What did he say?
He said, you're in the bank. And I'm like, yes. So that's why I said, he sent me the check. He said, he's like, I'm going to send you a check to pay for your expenses.
Okay. But you knew the check was fake.
But I waited until I had a day off to say, hey, I came to the bank and I said, hey guys, I got a check in the mail. It felt a little awkward for me to go to my bank to deposit it. I know it took a long time to process or whatever the issue may be and stuff. And I was like, you know, can you guys verify this? I was like, I don't
Tell him, call me. And then tell him the police don't believe that story when he calls.
Like, I'm honestly telling you the truth.
I think whoever this person is has sent you on a mission to try and cash this fake check.
Nobody sent me on a mission to do anything else.
Okay.
I'm telling you the truth, like 100%. I've never been in
But
trouble.
that's okay, because unfortunately,
But I'm telling you, like, honestly, like,
you're gonna go to jail today.
but I
okay.
can't. That's the thing. I've never been to jail.
You're gonna have to go to jail today. Okay.
Please don't let me go to jail. Like, I'm begging you
Yeah.
guys because, like, I never had anything to do with a fake check. I'm telling you, like, 100%. Honestly.
Okay.
Like, really, like, I'm real deal begging you guys. Like, I'm serious. Can I at least call my mom before you?
Just raise your right hand real quick.
Wait 1 second. Please, let me just.
This is real quick. I just want to swear you in just so that we can say what you told me is the truth. And then you can call your mom if you want to call your mom.
But I really don't want to go to jail. Like, that's one thing. I've never been to jail before.
Okay.
I'm like, no, like, all honesty, I'm telling you the truth. Like, this is the person who said I'm in a relationship with, and they literally said that they was gonna help me with my bills because they.
Well, the issue was you knew the check was fake.
But I didn't even cash it though. That's the thing. I asked the lady, can she verify? I said, hey, I literally, you can go and get her.
Okay. I'm just gonna swear you in real quick just to verify what you told me is the truth, okay? So just raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirm that the testimony you just gave in this case was the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, that's the whole truth. Like, I'm so serious. Like, I've never been arrested before. I never had anything to do with anything. And it's just like, it's really difficult for me to even try to process this. Because it's like, I never had to do any of this before.
Stand up.
Can I call my mom first?
I'm sure we can go ahead and contact her in a second.
No, I want to contact her and let her know, please.
Okay.
Can I please call her?
We'll call her in a second.
Stand up.
I'm telling the truth though. Like, I never had anything to do with this check. You guys don't even have to arrest me.
Yeah.
She was charged with fraud, defrauding a financial institution, uttering a forged check, and grand theft. She was sentenced to 24 months of probation and 50 hours of community service. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this.